Boker Tov, Chavrim. I'm Stephen Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live. Guys, wanted to bring you up to date. A film here by Rupley. This is from the meeting yesterday in Munich, Germany. Something we were supposed to be at ourselves, covering there on the sidelines. Unfortunately, we were unable to make it there, preparing for the trip to Israel. Very important meeting that we'll be having there. But at any rate, there, I wanted to share with you a clip of this here. This is, you're going to be seeing different ministers sitting at a table there. Reporters are allowed in just a few moments before the closed-door meeting. We have Foreign Minister Lavrov, who will speak first, and then Jens Stoltenberg, the head of NATO. And even though Foreign Minister Lavrov kind of jokingly makes the comment that NATO likes their dialogue by force, it does put Jens Stoltenberg on a rather awkward situation to try to answer that. Let's real quick take a listen to this. What is said here, I think, is very important for you to be able to hear this here. Let me make sure we have our volumes up as loud as we can, though, so we can pick this up here. Let's go right to this right now.
I'm glad that NATO is still interested in talking to us. And look forward to discussing some practical things.
But we are strongly in favor of dialogue with Russia.
I know. From the position of force.
From a predictable and predictable.
If you notice there, he said he was glad. Lavrov says that he's glad that NATO is still willing to talk to us. Of course, Jens Stoltenberg is saying, we don't see him in the screen at the moment there, saying that we're always willing to talk, to negotiate, so to speak. And Lavrov, jokingly a little bit, but no doubt very serious about what he's saying, he says, yeah, from a position of force. And then Jens Stoltenberg, being kind of caught off guard with that comment, comes back and says, yeah, from a predictable. Listen to it again, 1 second here.
But we are strongly in favor of dialogue with Russia.
I know.
Strongly in favor of dialogue with Russia.
From the position of force.
From the position of force.
From a predictable and predictable position.
From a predictable position. That's pretty provocative. Pretty provocative, if you ask me, right there. It's a very tense situation. And, of course, I think the only thing that has brought NATO to the table, and that is because they don't have quite the backing of President Trump as they did with President Barack Obama. If it was President Barack Obama still in office, we would be inching closer and closer to conflict. And as we can see now, even though President Trump has pretty much changed his position regarding Crimea, that Crimea must be returned, it is still a better situation than what we had before. I know there's a lot of issues going on in Washington right now. There's a lot of people working against President Trump, trying to derail his agenda, his campaign, trying to block his nominees for his cabinet post, etc. John McCain being a major part of that. Paul Begley had brought out a very interesting take recently himself about John McCain and over in Europe, really throwing the president under the bus, so to speak, once again. And we know that John McCain and himself, as well as Senator Lindsey Graham, both beating the drum beats for war with Russia. And so there is a major move against the initiative that President Trump would like to bring out, and that would be a cessation of hostilities and no doubt even bringing the forces away from Russia's border. And unless that happens, we can look at it as a Cold War, we can look at it as a hot war. One way or the other, something's going to give. There's too much at stake going on. But anyway, we wanted to share this with you. I think it was very provocative. Foreign Minister Lavrov very clearly bringing out from a position of force And of course, Jens Stoltenberg saying that, you know, from a predictable, let's listen to it one more time.
From the position of force.
From a predictable and predictable position.
Predictable position. That means that if they need to use force, they can predict their position that they're going to use. I'm Stephen Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live. Shalom.